Are you going to be did you receive a letter from Fikile Mbalula? Will you be meeting the ANC on the fiscal budget framework of the country and the budget? Then lastly, the MK's posture on President Donald Trump's view of South Africa, and in particular him saying that he may not be coming to the G20 summit.
No, look, we got a letter from...
Good morning, guys. Good morning on a Sunday morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Please do understand that I'm not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who's also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of our beautiful country. So yesterday, MK was celebrating the birthday of their president, former President Jacob Zuma, and the media was in the mix. Samgele Masego was interviewing Floyd Shivambu. He asked if MK has received a letter from the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula. He said, yeah, we have responded, but we don't want to be the ANC's tool anymore to fight their battles with their GNU partner. He also commented on the G20 summit with the possibilities of the American president not participating, our nemesis, because Donald Trump is our nemesis at this stage. Anyway, also Willies Mchunu took a swipe at the ANC and he is foreseeing doom. He's foreseeing the coming events, casting their shadows of dark clouds over the ANC as we approach the 2026 local government elections. So I'm not going to waste much of your time. I'd like you to hear from the gentlemen themselves, and I'll be back with my closing commentary right at the end.
No principle involved. They may claim to the society that there was any principle involved. There is none. Ideologically, the ANC has always stood in opposition to the DA. Ideological, and you can't mix those two ideologies unless the ANC has sold out and become a GADA. Then that changes the whole story. Then we can then say they will stay there and be the one party ANC-DA. Then they are not going to be destroyed. But the ideology of the DA is not to serve the poor people. Is to serve the capitalist class, is to serve big business, all policies of the DA. And if the ANC is also drifting in that route, then the ANC must be rejected by the people, the poor people, like these people that we represent here as Umkhonto weSizwe. And therefore, they are bound to crack one time or another. And I can guarantee you, they cannot approach local government elections in this form.
And how do you feel?
They have failed. They have failed the people. Problems that have been there for ages have never been solved. The ordinary person does not feel any service delivery coming to them. Therefore, they are not going to hold. If they crack now, all the better. All the better for the people. But for us, we have long said it, that in 2025 we will begin a campaign that will be designed for us to wrestle power in KwaZulu-Natal from the collision of the DA, ANC and IFP. We are going to do that.
Are you going to be did you receive a letter from Fikile Mbalula? Will you be meeting the ANC on the fiscal budget framework of the country and the budget? Then lastly, the MK's posture on President Donald Trump's view of South Africa, and in particular him saying that he may not be coming to the G20 summit.
No, look, we got a letter from the ANC Secretary General, and we responded to say we do not want to enter into domestic affairs of the government, the so-called government of national unity. If they've got budget impasse, it's their own issue. They've constituted a government with representatives of the colonial system, of racism, of apartheid. So they must see to finish as to how they handle their own issues. They can't utilize us as some spare wheel which they're going to utilize to scare the Democratic Alliance. that no, for them to win their immediate gains, they will go to MK, and then MK will then rush as if we're desperate for power. We know that as Mkhonto Wesizwe will represent majority of the people of South Africa, we are not desperate to enter into power through the ANC coalition or arrangements. We can take power single-handedly as an organization. We've got the necessary capacity to take power by ourselves. That is why less than 6 months into existence, Mkhonto Wesizwe could get upward of 14% of the vote in South Africa and have an outright majority in the province of KwaZulu-Natal in terms of the votes that were announced by the IEC, not in terms of the true reflection of the outcomes which we are still contesting now. So the ANC has written to us. We have responded to say that we do not want to enter into domestic affairs of the so-called government of national unity. Let them deal with their issues. We have got the relevant platforms as MK where we're going to articulate our position in terms of what is to be done in relation to the budgeting framework, in terms of the money bills that are still going to serve before Parliament. But one thing for sure is that as long as the government of national unity or any government includes the Democratic Alliance and all these other aspects, we are not going to allocate any budget as Mkhonto Wesizwe to representatives of oppression to expand on land, on basic education. We will never support that budget. That is one issue which we have clearly articulated. I think the issue we have consistently articulated as well in relation to the United States of America is that let's adhere to the vision of President Jacob Zuma on building sustainable relationships with the Brics countries. It's President Zuma who joined Brics because he could foresee that the imperialist West will always want to bully the global South. And that is exactly what is happening now, that we must be told today tariff is 20%, is 30%, you must change trade relations and all of those things there. We have got sustainable friendships that started when President Zuma was head of state and president, with Brazil, with Russia, with China, with India. That group of countries constitute almost 40% of the global population. That is a very huge market. Their economy combined is more than these countries of imperialism, the neo-colonial countries which oppress the African continent. So America, UK, France, Japan, and all of those things in the G7, their economies are far smaller than the countries in the BRICS basket. And President Zuma has given us a compass as South Africa, as a people, that this is the direction that we must go. So South Africa should intensify its relationship with the BRICS countries. Must utilize this 90-day period to now look for alternate markets, because we can't trust the imperialist West. They are always self-seeking. Their relationship between themselves and the African continent has been a relationship of exploiter and exploited. Has been a relationship of a rider and a horse, the horse being the African continent. Towards which direction we do not know. So we've got a relationship that we must protect, and we again thank President Jacob Zuma on his birthday for giving us a compass of working within the BRICS framework. Thank you very much.
And if you watched up to here, thank you guys for watching my videos. And the next time you bump into my videos, kindly watch my ads in full if you are on Wi-Fi and you have the time to do so. Anyway, your comments, please kindly share them in the comment section. I'm looking forward to be reading those. If time allows me, I'm going to take time to respond or even react. And with that said, do have a beautiful Sunday.